Welcome back once again to Gettysburg, where we have a total population of over 50 now by the looks of things. Which begs the question, is it time for me to build a town hall? Because I kind of want one. I'll be really honest with you, town halls are so useful. And I put it off in the early game a lot of the time because it is quite a resource heavy thing. I could even put it out in the corner here, it wouldn't make a difference. So I might pop it up there. I'm going to pause it for now because we've got a lot of resource gathering that needs to be done. And I'm going to start expanding the clear area over here because I think I am going to do a quarry of sorts over here. I think that'll be a good plan. So we're just going to let these guys get on with that. We're still sitting good on food. I'm not too pressed to expand our food production anymore right now. There is other options for food. We can get pastures for animals once we've got them. There is hunting cabins which could hunt all those wild deers and stuff over there. And then there's gatherers' huts and herbalists, but not to worry right now. We are very low on firewood, which could prove a massive problem. That's my biggest concern at this point at the moment. So really trying to get all this wood down, which is pretty much all our labourers are doing at this very point in time. I'm gonna need to really get on that sort of stuff if we're gonna carry on doing well here. Looks like we've got another trader. What's he gonna offer us? Cherry seeds. Interesting. I'm afraid I can't do it. It can't be done this time around, I'm afraid. We really need to up our logs. That's a big deal. Maybe it's time for a forester's lodge. I'm not the biggest fan of a forester's lodge. They do take up a lot of space and they don't do very much. They don't produce much on a yearly basis. It's just one of those things that they do. They do a small amount. It just never feels like it's all that productive, to be quite honest. So we're going to put one out here. And what we'll do is remove everything that's stone or iron in the vicinity. So that they have all the space they want for collecting logs. And I will, out the front, I believe, put a little stockpile out just to save them the trek, and we'll let the labourers trek instead. Just a little 5x5 for the time being. They won't need more than that, I don't reckon. How we doing on the whole? Situation is fine right now, given that it's summer, so no need for firewood. My concern is whether or not we want to move to mining coal here as an alternative fuel source. My worry with that is we are actually really low on iron, so that would be a bit of a pain. And I'm going to actually up this to 10 in the hopes that we can get a lot more iron out of it in the coming months and seasons. Luckily, this doesn't take any iron to build, thankfully. But looks like it's all coming together here. A few more logs now, making me a bit happier with the situation. Our houses are unfortunately getting kind of full again, which means we're going to have to take a moment and consider housing as well, which is worrisome for sure. But for now, I just want to get as much gathered as possible. That's really my that's my aim here, quite frankly. Just want to get that done. Are we... Oh, I didn't put a second fuel cutter in. There we go. We'll have 2 of those. So it's left us with only 2 labourers, which is unfortunate. But now that the fields have been harvested, we should get a little bit of extra help in the chopping down of all these trees here and the putting up of this forester's lodge. So that should be good. We have got a lovely surplus of food, I have just noticed. We are at 7,950 on food at the moment, which is great. It means that we are sitting in a really good place food-wise, and we don't need to think about expanding anytime soon, and we can focus on resource production like stone and iron and wood. So that's going to be really great for our labourers that come up through the system soon. I'll be very excited to be able to just give them all the jobs in like mining and stuff, although they are a little bit more dangerous, which kind of sucks for them. Right, our forester is up. We are going to stock it completely. We're going to up our log limit because nobody needs a log limit really. I will literally take that up to 1,000 if I have to. We don't actually have enough labourers to get right the way to the top of max here, and it has left us without any labourers as well. Luckily it's winter time still, so the farms will be acting as labourers for the time being, but in the meantime it's a bit of a pain. I'm gonna leave this one labourer that just grew up here as a labourer, but the next one we get, we will move into the foresters, I believe. I think that'll be the best plan. I haven't built this stockpile yet. Can we prioritise that, please? And we have a trader. What you got? Steel tools. I wish. I wish. But, alas, we really shouldn't. We have a farmer that died of old age, which is why I wanted to keep a labourer around, to be honest. I'm going to lower the miners down to 8, unfortunately, even though we are still really quite low on tools. Not tools. The tools themselves are fine. The iron is the problem here. We've just had a few... No, we haven't had a few more labourers. I just lowered the number of miners. One did just grow up, so I think we're in a good place to really stick them over here. And that stockpile is finally built, which means that we can keep all our stuff over here that we collect, which will be really helpful for the foresters. Not so much for the labourers, but oh well, unfortunately that's just the way it goes sometimes. I think we're sitting alright. I think we're sitting okay. If we have a consistent supply of logs come in for the time being, then we should be able to maintain a good amount of firewood in the run up to the winter time this time around. Did I ask you to remove these? I did not. That's interesting. So, we're just going to plow on as we are now until something happens, really, unfortunately. I'm not going to build anything else. I'm just going to spend this time collecting resources and doing what I can in that regard. Because that's really our key priority at this point. We need a lot more wood because we need to maintain firewood, which is going really well so far. I'm quite happy with that. Need to maintain it for all sorts. We gotta keep the wood going for the iron, for the tools. We need to... How am I doing on iron, by the way? Doing a little bit better, although it goes as quickly as we get it in, to be quite honest. Stone's the next concern, but I'm not too fussed about that in the immediate. Let's see how much it takes to build a quarry. Quarry does take 40 stone, but that's absolutely fine. I think we're good there. So I'm gonna move the quarry up to here. And I think if I just put the road along there and have this here meet up with the was that one bit of road too high? Oh well, we'll have to do a circle round, I suppose. That one bit of land is too high, which is another one of those moments of oof. We are full on storage. That's a concern. So I'm gonna stick down another barn here. I'm going to pause this, and I'm gonna up the priority on this. I click it about 100 times, but sometimes you need to. As far as I know, it acts like a list. So that's what you do. And it looks like the orchard has actually had to cut down a few trees, which should have helped with wood production a little bit. It might be worth getting a few more orchards in every now and again, if we want to slowly increase the production of food here, without needing to, without being worried about the speed at which we do it. Because as I say, these pecan ones, they're not too shy of what we do in our crop fields, but they're not the same. So it might possibly be worth popping a row of orchards back here, but maybe we leave that for a bit to concern ourselves with the production of resources. Okay, this is coming along nicely, which is very good. We're at 100% full there. We're at 97% full there. We're at 100 now. Okay, so this really needs to hurry up. And we have a merchant at the trading post who wants chickens. I could totally do chickens as well. Let's get a couple of traders in, and we're gonna delegate 800 beans, which may not be the best move, but we have a lot of beans, so I don't feel too much of an issue doing that. And as far as I know, beans only count for 1 in trade value. Oh, and they won't even buy beans. That's brilliant. Let's try it with tool. How many tools do we have? We have 400. If we can get 100 in. And take them out, and they'll go back into the storage. Let's see what 100... See, they're valued at 8. If we can get those 100 in, we can trade for 2 chickens, which means we can have pastures, which will be very exciting. So I will trade 100 iron tools for 2 chickens. Beautiful. So now we have 2 chickens, and they will stay in that pen until we build ourselves a pasture. Now, placement of pasture, I think I'm just gonna be quite plain about it and just go here. Does 11 by 11 work with these? I can't remember. Yeah, it looks like it. So I will do a chicken one over here, and I think I'll put an orchard in the middle just to be fun about it. Mine died of a cave-in, which is unfortunate. As I say, these are not fun jobs. Farmer died during childbirth. That's a shame. We're getting a lot of deaths at the moment, which is very unfortunate. We are building the population, so it shouldn't become too much of a problem in terms of filling the jobs that the older generation had. So fingers crossed. Houses are definitely looking a bit full though, so I think the time has come to get these stone cutters their own little area, which doesn't quite fit along the road as I wanted it to. I just heard the sound of a chicken. That was enlightening. We'll grab that road there. It's a lot of houses to be doing at once, but I think we're going to have to. Now that one's just waiting on the builder, which is okay. These ones are waiting on logs and stuff. Logs are going to be a while, I believe, so it might be worth, once again, removing some resources. How much logage? See, they made 147 last year. I know that was their first year and it could be a half year or something like that, but it still doesn't feel like too much to me. It feels like we could be doing a lot better. But I don't really know, do I? I could be completely wrong here. Doesn't really matter. So we are going to have ourselves a herdsman. I think you only need the 1 herdsman for the time being. Chickens. Yeah, it looks like they shouldn't need any more than that. I believe as a byproduct they create feathers as well, so that's something. I really enjoy all these, the things that create byproducts. I find them really interesting, especially in the expanded, like, custom content and stuff for this game. For the simple reason, you get the byproduct from mainly like food production and stuff, gives you like byproducts, and it's really cool to turn them into other stuff that you can then trade with to get more seeds and stuff. It's interesting to me. I probably harp on about it way too often about how much I love custom content and blah 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 blah. But I wanted on this particular series to just go in vanilla, because I haven't played it in so long. Just give it a whirl, and then next time around we'll try a bit of modded. We'll either try Mega Mod or Colonial Charter or something like that. And I would love to have you guys' input on that as well, because I think that would be really cool. Whether or not you want like Colonial Charter, or whether you want the Mega Mod or something like that. So, yes. Very, very exciting. That won't go there. Let's try and pop a bridge in. I'm really looking for a nice place for a bridge. Could put it there. That would work. It just opens us up to a bit more with regards to like resource gathering. There's that big chunk of iron there that would be really useful to get a hold of, for example. A lot of these trees are going, so we are creating some wood, are we not? It doesn't give you wood? I swear it does. Oh well, doesn't matter. That's not our priority here. Not in this, not for the orchards, they're food. These guys are, really our priority in terms of... So they're doing about 100 each year, which I suppose isn't too bad, but you would need a few to really get to where you want it to be. I don't need iron tools, because I am also trading iron tools, so I will leave that there. I'm going to lower that trader down to 1. In fact, to be honest, we could get rid of them completely. It's one of those micromanaging things that I really don't mind micromanaging about. I'm going to up the builders so we can get a few of these, like, worked out. People shouldn't be worrying about firewood, because we do have a good supply of it. To the point where I think I'm going to stop one of these guys working for the time being, because I don't want to go too ham. Especially when our log situation is so dire. I think the main focus is chop down some trees here, build some houses, and then we'll see where we go from there. I think that's going to be our issue. And oh my god, these chickens are going to make so much noise. They're just going to all make all the noise. But that's fine. That's fine, we'll deal with it. Just the way it is. Things will never be the same. But have we got a work order for these guys? No, doesn't look like it. So get them a chopping, and we might as well get the few herbs and stuff that are there, because they're really good for things like health. Like the health of the citizens at the moment is dire. It's really low, so that's a crying shame, to be quite honest. But getting ourselves in a hospital and a chapel and all that sort of stuff does cost a lot of resources, so we have to kind of focus on keeping the guys alive first. That's our main priority here. I'd say we're doing quite well, to be honest. It's not the biggest of towns so far, but that's not a problem. I have no problem with it being quite small. It's actually difficult to spread out as much in standard banished, I find, because you are in valleys, so there is quite a lot of vertical like areas, and you can't flatten them in standard banished, and in the mod packs you can. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of like the ability to flatten out some bits. I do tend to keep the majority of landscape the way it is, but sometimes when you just need to expand a little bit down, like that mountain there would just go, would be out. But I do it very minimally. I really don't like going over the top on terraforming in Banished, because there isn't any tools to smooth out terrain. So if you chop off a mountain there, you'll just have a really flat surface that goes real steep, and it's just not natural in this game. So what's the point, quite frankly? Looks like these houses are coming on along quite nicely though, so that's exciting. And we're we filled them up pretty immediately, and it's given us some kids, which is really what I was looking for. Because these guys are just so full. This guy just has lived on his own for the whole time. So there's actually a few over here that are kind of empty. But yeah. As I say, I just like the idea that we have a bit of a mining town going on over here as well. And in terms of numbers, I just kind of want to see more children as children than I do as students. That's kind of where I'm at with my numbers there. Apple seeds. I think I'm going to leave them. Purely for the simple reason of that's only going to get us 800 worth of trading value. And we don't have the tools to expand our selection that just lives in the... Yeah. I'm just not going to do it this time. If I see, like ground seeds as opposed to orchard seeds, then maybe I will go for that. But for now, I'm just not interested, unfortunately. Just not interested. But, oh well. Got our bridge over to this new area, which means we can completely rid this place of all its resources. Milk it for all it's worth, you know. Just standard civilization-based stuff, you know. If you're pioneering a civilization, you are gonna chop down some trees, I will tell you that. Sorry if you didn't know that, guys. I feel like you must have, but sorry if you didn't know that. Right, we are looking at 10 labourers at the moment, with 3 builders, mind you. So 12 in our sort of standard, like, way of going about things, because I don't like having more than 1 builder at this particular time in the game. If we had more than 100 adults and we were building quite frequently, then yeah, probably like 2 or 3, maybe up to 5, I could see happening. But right now, don't need more than 1, because we're only building 1 thing at a time, really. I think we're in a good place food-wise still, so I think I'm going to prioritize the production of iron and of stone. Iron, I think, is in a good place. We're looking at about 91 at the moment. We'll have to play a bit of a balancing act with those two once the stone cutter is finally in, once we've finally got enough logs for that whole ordeal. So, yeah, we'll have to deal with that as the time comes. But I think I am actually going to leave it here for today. So, thank you guys ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. And I look forward to seeing you next time.